KFC Nassau. It's finger-licking.
I guess I was too big-eyed. You promised me so much. I gave up my time, my friends, my connections, and my contacts. And this is how you treat me? I should have never left my mean squeeze for this side piece. With all these funny numbers and things.
Why switch when you can stay with the company that covers every island, rock, and key? BTC, every day.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up in First at 6, former Public Hospital Authority Chairman Frank Smith's case was adjourned again. Why? The answer ahead. A woman is dead tonight following the country's latest traffic fatality. And a local school band getting some help from some pros. We'll tell you who.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, First at 6. This portion of the news is brought to you by BTC every day.
The search for illegal immigrants continue. Good evening all, I'm C.S. Scatterly and this is the Bahamas Tonight, First at 6. The Department of Immigration had boots on the ground early this morning in an apprehension exercise that saw immigrants of various nationalities taken into custody. Cleopatra Murphy spoke with the director about what's next. Traffic came to a near standstill on East Bay Street early Wednesday morning as immigration officers and police conducted a joint operation targeting suspected illegal immigrants. Cars and buses were stopped, while some were able to produce documents that saw them continue on their way. By 9:30 a.m., 17 migrants were in custody, bound for the Carmichael Road Detention Center. Director of Immigration Clarence Russell says they were suspected of illegal landing or expired work permits.
They will be processed. And if persons are found to be wanting, then the law will take its course. If persons were to present and or their sponsors to present letters to suggest that they are lawfully here and perhaps just did not have them in their possession, then due process will also take its course.
Russell says the department is acting on its mandate that has not changed, but there is now an urgency to it following the December 31st deadline by Prime Minister Dr. the Honorable Hubert Minnis, who issued an edict that illegals leave the country or face deportation. Russell says immigration officers are not thugs and perform their duties within the confines of the law and humanely.
We're not in the business of depriving persons of their lawful rights. But without fear and or favor, we will uphold the laws of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. So help us God. That is our sworn duty, and that is precisely what we intend to do. But fairly, though firmly, that is our mandate.
The Director of Immigration acknowledges that the operation during the early morning commute may have inconvenienced some, but says sometimes the public has to pay for a smooth and law-abiding country.
We are not in the business of interrupting the smooth progress of traffic. But from time to time, based on our mandate and based on the needs of the public with regard to the Immigration Department protecting our sovereignty, we will have to suffer a little bit of inconvenience.
Cleopatra Murphy, ZNS Network News. 25 people are expected to be sworn in as Bahamians tomorrow. While addressing the Free National Movement South Beach Association meeting Tuesday night, Minister of Immigration, the Honorable Brent Simonet, says this exercise is done every 2 weeks as government seeks to significantly reduce the application backlog.
I don't make a big noise about it, but persons are being sworn in, certainly under my regime, because I don't agree with the persons being in limbo. Because before you get sworn in, these people have to give up their citizenship of the country of which they live. So in many cases, they are walking around with no passport. So in some cases, people are waiting, at maximum, hopefully with me, 2 weeks where they're in with no passport.
Minister Simonet believes the swearing-in process is now easier as the government has appointed a Citizenship Commission. He reaffirmed that these applicants born in the Bahamas to non-Bahamian parents and have applied between the ages of 18 and 19 but have yet to receive an answer. Now, that committee also meets every 2 weeks. The commission has reportedly met several times since it was formed.
The first meeting they dealt with 19 files, approved 18, and deferred 1. The second one, I think they did 38 files in their second meeting, and they hope to get up to 50 files per meeting twice a month. That's 100 people. That's from every nationality. That's just not, whatever country you come from. That then, the recommendation comes to me. I take a simple paper to cabinet and say, these are the 38 people, the 50 people, and there will be very unusual circumstances for cabinet to disagree with what the commission did.
A group of Haitian pastors are standing with the government on its decision to regularize Shantytowns. Reverend Osmain Cyril is part of a group of Haitian pastors who are willing to provide assistance to members of the Haitian community who will be relocated when the government demolishes the Shantytowns throughout the country.
Whatsoever government willing to do with our nationality, those that want the opportunity to help, we willing to help them in each way. If government desire that to say, okay, he break the Shantytown, some of them let everybody is not illegal here. Some of them have a purpose residency and even a naturalization in the country, and then they still living in the Shantytown. But if government protesting against the way they live for the country, probably for the better of themselves, and they want to ask those the pastors who in the community that to do something to help them, I think we're willing to work along with the program and whatsoever we could able to contribute to make them on a better life, just on a better way to live, we're willing to do just that.
Minister of Labor, Senator the Honorable Dion Folks, said recently that he met with 16 Haitian Bahamian pastors, and the government is now in the consultative process concerning the demolition of Shantytowns, and results are expected by summer. The group of Haitian pastors were not a part of the government's meeting, and while they support the government's decision, they have concerns over the losses Haitian migrants endure when deported to Haiti.
All those investments they make. So I would like to know when they catch, as no way else they could get no benefits, nothing, and then dollar, because they'll be in the country investing so long, and now they get cash. They even, some of them have some money off to their bank, they can't even get it. And now they lock them up and send them back, they lose everything.
From the courts, the bribery and extortion case of former Public Hospitals Authority Chairman Frank Smith was adjourned again today. This after the Crown indicated that certain documents needed for their case were not yet available. The defense also made an application during the proceedings for the court to dismiss the case against Smith, citing prosecutorial misconduct and the issue of disclosure. However, Chief Magistrate Joyanne Ferguson Pratt called the application premature. Both sides are expected to return to court on May 14th for the continuation of the trial. Another man killed in the capital overnight. The Bahamas Tonight, first at 6, continues after the break.
Happy birthday, Ariana. Happy birthday to you. What's this for?
I got me some cake for you.
Ever since you guys moved to the Family Islands, I have missed so many birthdays.
Yes, Mommy. We gotta thank BTC for bringing the internet to our community.
You're right, honey. Bye, everybody.
Bye, Grammy. Say bye, Grammy.
What does support look like? What does it sound like when you feel the pulse of a nation? When you make a difference in the lives of strong, principled, cultured people who are driven by hard work and passion. People who build communities where hospitality is warmly demonstrated, because this is the Bahamas, and we're happy to share our wealth. Commonwealth Bank, built by Bahamians, here for Bahamians. Bahamians helping Bahamians.
With KFC's Family Deal, everything is under control.
Dad genius.
Enjoy our family deal with 8 pieces of freshly prepared chicken, large family fries, and 4 biscuits. All for just $20 including VAT. KFC Nassau. It's finger-licking good.
Hey, this is Bodine, host of Fabulous Living, Bahamian Style. And there aren't very many things in life that give as much fulfillment and joy as traveling throughout the Bahamas. See, I've been traveling all over our archipelago, and I've seen some of the most iconic views known to mankind. I've tasted some of the most delicious foods in some of the most unique spots, and best of all, I've had a chance to connect with people from all corners of our nation. And it's not only me, it's me and the entire Fabulous Living Bahamian Style crew made up of photographers, filmmakers, bloggers, and so many more, just looking to tell the story of our Bahamas here on ZNS TV, YouTube, and Facebook. What I want you to do is just enjoy the journey with us, and we'll cover all the must-see, must-do things around the Bahamas, share some really good cooking, and experience some of the most gorgeous homes in the world, all right here, Bahamian Style. I know you're going to enjoy this ride.
This portion of the news brought to you by Commonwealth Bank, your leader in personal banking.
Last night, a man was gunned down at his home on Seymour Street in Yellow Elder Gardens. Police Press Liaison Officer Assistant Superintendent of Police Shanta Knowles says officers were called to the area shortly before 11.
Upon their arrival here at the scene, they discovered a male lying on the side of the street with gunshot injuries about his body. EMS paramedics came to the scene. They attempted to revive the male but were unsuccessful. He was pronounced dead on the scene. Our information thus far tells us that a male and his companion arrived at home, and as they were about to secure the premises, they were approached by 2 men armed with firearms who opened fire on them. We are appealing to members of the public, especially those who may have been in the street or in their yards around the time of this incident, to give us a call with whatever information they may have that can assist us in solving this matter.
Tonight, police are also investigating the circumstances surrounding 2 separate traffic accidents that have left 2 people dead in less than 24 hours. An elderly man was struck and killed while walking along Cowpen Road shortly after 6 p.m. Tuesday. He was taken to hospital by ambulance but died soon after. And in the second incident, a woman was allegedly struck and killed early this morning on West Bay Street. Officer in charge of the Traffic Division, Chief Superintendent Craig Stubbs, says officers received a call shortly after 5 a.m. of a hit and run.
Shortly after 4 a.m. this morning, police received a report from the security at the Rock Apartments condominiums. The report where a female jogger was struck by a vehicle that fled the scene. Officers arrived on scene and met the lifeless body of a female lying in the northeastbound lane of the dual carriageway of the West Bay Street corridor. EMS personnel, along with a resident, a doctor, a resident from the Bay Rock community, examined her remains, and there was no signs of life reported.
Now to some good news on the educational front. The government high school recognized 107 students in a ceremony this morning for attaining honor roll status. Principal Eloise Wims encouraged students to set goals, which is in keeping with the school's 2018 theme, creating a quality culture of excellence. She also encouraged students to set goals.
What you believe, you can certainly achieve. And you must expect great things. You must expect greatness. You can achieve greatness when you focus on the focus. And the more you focus on greatness, the more you realize that mediocrity just won't do.
Williams confirmed that their goal is to increase the graduation rate from 42% up from 37%. Class of 1987 donated computers, and the Bahamas Youth Network donated $15,000 of sports equipment. Guest speaker was 2009 graduate Richard Cunningham, who now teaches at E.P. Roberts Primary. He thanked his teachers for being good role models, and he also encouraged students to persevere through the hard times.
Every one of you have the opportunity now in life to make the choice that I can be and I will be the difference. Yes, it may not happen in high school. You may not have the opportunity right now, but you can have the opportunity no matter where you go. High school is not your final destination. You don't have to stop here, but you do have a choice of whom you're going to be in the future.
Obi Pinling loves music, and recently he assisted his alma mater, the government high school band Magic Ivy. On Monday, he, along with their music teacher, Yonel Justilian, took them to meet his classmate, the Honorable Desmond Bannister. The former graduates admonished the students to uphold the tradition.
So when you hear the ministers talk about the prestige of our institution, I don't want you kids to take that lightly. And that is why we brag so much about our old school, because we know what we had. And those that went before us blazed the trail for us. Okay? And how many times have I told you kids, you got to make sure you continue to make your school proud.
Justilian, a former National Teacher of the Year, is grateful for the assistance of Pinling and thankful that music is taking on a leading role in the students' personal development.
And I would like to personally thank Mr. Penland and also Sachana for coming on board, assisting these young folks. We just want to bring the awareness of how talented these kids are, and it's making a way for them through college education and even in the profession.
Jonathan Benson is next with your first look at sports, so stay tuned.
That portion of the news was brought to you by Commonwealth Bank, the leader in personal banking services.
At Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center, we provide imaging services to meet all your family's needs. Same goes for imaging at Grosvenor. We're the imaging experts. We never schedule multiple appointments, so you'll be in and out in no time. And if your initial screening reveals a concern, our radiology specialist can consult your doctor and conduct an alternative screening right then and there. Results are ready within 24 hours. Call 328-8157 to schedule an appointment at Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center or Imaging at Grosvenor today.
Financial dreams only become a reality when we make the commitment to ourselves and our financial future. Let Leno help you bridge your dream into a reality. Leno Corporate Services offer individual retirement plans, pension administration, investment management, brokerage and trading, accounting, payroll, and corporate services.
Leno, bridging possibilities. Contact us at 396-3225.
Need insurance for your valuables? Shield Insurance is the answer for you, offering friendly, professional service at competitive prices. Our experienced staff at Shield Insurance work hard to ensure that you get the right coverage for your car, home, or business. Now introducing our new premium financing program, designed to make it easier for government workers and employees of approved businesses to receive car and home insurance. Visit Shield Insurance on Thompson Boulevard or call 356-7202.
How passionate are you in what you're doing here?
Very passionate. I've not been good at a lot of things, but cooking is one thing that I put my best foot forward. Every time I step in the kitchen, I do not accept mediocrity. If it's bad before it goes up to the guests, it's not coming up. I'd rather have a dish come out to the guests late and right than on time and wrong.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Welcome to sports, everybody. The Government Secondary Schools Track and Field Championships underway at the Thomas A. Robinson National Stadium. The C.R. Walker Knights are the defending champions for the senior schools.
I won't say we're unbeatable, but I would say this.
we prepare ourselves for GGSA and for the season. I'm a type of coach who I don't wait till the time to try to gather up athletes. Every year I try to replenish what is leaving out my graduates, and I try to replenish, and the younger ones that come in, I try to steer them in the same way that I would the older ones. So it's more of a building every year for my teams.
Like C.R. Walker, the CHV Raptors also looking to repeat as junior school champions.
Pretty much confident in doing so. We worked hard, so we're just ready to execute on the track and also on the field. The thing about the track and field, you don't really see it until you come out here. Other than that, you see meets on Saturdays or whatever, but other than that, you won't see the schools per se until you come to the track. In the bantam, you could be looking out for J.O. and Joseph. In the juniors, you could also be looking out for junior girls. You could look out for Nicole Smith and also Cresswell Farrington. They're ready to defend.
The Bahamas Scholastic Association's sudden death basketball playoffs tipping off yesterday at the AF Adelaide Gym. In primary boys play, Temple Christian took care of Pace Christian Academy 24-10 behind 10 points from Zion Evans. Hillcrest Academy also moving on a 29-14 win over Capron. Chiquillo Camp had 10 points there for Hillcrest. Queen's College in the win column as well. They took down Genesis Academy 9-2. In the Super Mini Division, just one game at Capron. They won big over Pace 30-5. As for the senior boys, Mount Carmel got 20 points from Greg McKay. They put away Leadership Academy 50-24. Telios a winner 46-16 over Hope Academy. Richard Lowe was the top scorer for Telios with 12 points. From the NBA last night, the Sacramento Kings continue to struggle. They remain winless since the All-Star break, going down to the Portland Trail Blazers 116-99. Buddy Hield, not a good night on the floor, 2 for 11, 0 for 4 from behind the three-point arc. He did make his only 2 free throws, finished up with 6 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 blocks. The Kings return to the floor again tomorrow at home against the Brooklyn Nets. The South Andrews Basketball League, they had action last night. South Andrews High 85-45 over the Young Ballers. Cabana Parker 21 points in the win there. Jared Dean had 22 in the loss. Rolls Bussing in the win column as well. 76-66 over the Kemps Bay Lions. Aaron Roll 29 points in the win. Quentin Ferguson, he had 30 for the Lions. Ontario University Athletics has named Bahamian Leisha Grant Player of the Year. In just her first year with the Lakeland Timberwolves, Grant has made a huge impact and helped to lead her team to a third-place finish in the OUA West with a record of 16-8, picking up a double-double in all but one game. She averaged 22.3 points per game and 14.1 rebounds. Grant not only led the conference, but also was the second leading scorer and top rebounder in the whole of Canada. Grant also holds the record for the most rebounds in a single season with 338. Still on news from the College Hardwood, the Northeast Conference Tournament that starts tonight. Charles Bain and 7th-seeded Robert Morris, they take on 2nd-seeded Mount St. Mary's. As for Philip McKenzie and Houston Baptist, they continue with regular season play against Incarnate Word. From the college baseball diamond yesterday, Mount Olive, they won 8-4 over Dominican. Trey Sweeting, he went 1 for 3, 2 stolen bases and 2 runs scored. Bryan College, they fell 15-8 to Cumberland. Wade Weinberger 2 for 4, 2 stolen bases, 2 runs batted in and 2 runs scored. Mars Hill, they ended in a 14-all tie with Lake Erie as darkness fell in the 10th inning of that game. Lance Edwards 0 for 4, with actually 0 for 1 with the run scored. As for Xavier, they fell to 13th ranked Louisville 6-4. Aubrey Major finishing up there 1-4-5. And that is your first look at sports. Don't go anywhere. First at 6 is back after the break.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Happy birthday, Ariana. Happy birthday to you. What's this for?
ever since you guys moved to the Family Islands, I have missed so many birthdays.
Yes, Mimi, we gotta thank BTC for bringing the internet to our community.
You're right, honey. Bye, everybody.
Bye, Grammy. Say bye, Grammy.
It's a part of all our lives. ZNS TV is where we go for information, entertainment, and enjoyment. ZNS is there with something for everyone.
Kids, lunch is ready.
ZNS TV, a part of our lives for 40 years.
The natural resources of the Bahamas play a critical role in supporting Bahamian livelihoods. For example, the fishing and tourism industry, which include fishermen, seafood exporters, hoteliers, dive operators, restaurants, and others. Collectively, they generate approximately $1.5 billion a year. Therefore, we must respect and preserve what we have. These resources belong to us.
This is my livelihood.
This is my livelihood.
This is my livelihood.
So let's all do our part to maintain our local economy and a good quality of life. Remember, if we take care of nature, nature will take care of us.
When you happen to lead the world in the prevalence of diabetes, that is not something of which we should be proud. When we happen to be in the top 10 in terms of overweight and obesity, that's not something that we should take any pride in.
What we consider to be a Bahamian diet is definitely designed around the ability for us to pack on calories, to pack on pounds. You know, we are high fat, high salt, high sugar. It is what we do, but it is killing us while we are doing it.
You can create a balance by eating what you love sometimes, but making sure that you look for the healthier choices the majority of the times is the way to go. You won't actually have to give up everything Bahamian.
Now to news from the region. More Caribbean countries have signed the CARICOM Arrest Warrant Treaty that simplifies the process of returning fugitives to a member state to face criminal prosecution. The treaty, previously signed by some CARICOM member states, also allows for executing a custodial sentence where a requested person has fled from justice after being sentenced for an applicable offense. It got the signatures of Barbados and the Bahamas at the two-day intersessional meeting of the Conference of Heads of Government in Haiti, which ended yesterday. Barbados' Ministry of Health has initiated fogging to combat the increase in the Culex mosquito population and surveillance of food establishments to ensure proper hygiene practices. Environmental health officers are going door to door to residences as well as businesses within the area, sharing information on how public health may be protected. And regional carrier Win Air has announced the launch of several additional services from Prince Juliana International Airport in St. Martin. First, the successful launch of the CN Express, a flight operated by Win Air in partnership with the Netherlands to connect St. Martin, St. Eustatius, and Bonaire. This flight was made a reality through partnership between Win Air and the Netherlands. These flights will operate Mondays and Fridays connecting St. Martin, St. Eustatius, and Bonaire with direct air service, which will prove to be beneficial for tourism, business development, and airline employees.
Time now for weather.
In our first look at weather, we have very little cloud safe for that old frontal trough now across the central Bahamas, and temperatures are warming up ahead of a cold front which is heading our way. Tell you more about that later in the newscast. But outside of our studios, we have partly cloudy skies, temperature 80 degrees, your relative humidity at 67%. The winds out of the north-northeast at 9 knots, your barometric pressure 1,018.0 millibars, that's 30.06 inches, and it is steady. That's going to do it for your first look at weather at 6. Stay tuned, more weather is still to come.
Thank you so much, Basil. With that, we end First at 6, but news from the north is up next.
Police focusing on crime at nightlife centers. Schools getting some assistance with technology, and 76 candidates completing the Fresh Start program.
The Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening all, I'm Megan Shepard. Thank you so much for tuning in. Topping news this evening, Grand Bahama Police giving focused attention to crime and violence occurring at business establishments. In recent time, violence has been reported at some establishments, especially at night spots. Tonight, the police chief says special attention is being given to such areas. Italia Hall explains.
In recent time, and particularly at night, some business establishments have become a magnet for violence. The Assistant Commissioner of Police, Samuel Butler, says police have been examining incidents of crime that occur at nightlife entities, and as a result, they have forged a good relationship with business owners.
Even all the way up to Monday, we had a wonderful, I almost call it a class session, where we were actually giving them a face and a front view of what the legislation is mandating property owners to do, and how the police can assist them. And so I am optimistic that they have already partnered with us in a deeper way of being able to ensure that properties are safe and we maintain a safe environment.
The police chief says business owners must understand the type of clientele they are attracting.
They know what limitations each individual have from behavioral that's been displayed, and they have a duty to ensure that they don't abuse individuals who may want to consume more than they can.
There is no curfew in place, and ACP Butler says officers can only enforce the laws of the country.
There are operating entities that is licensed up to 2 a.m. in the morning. There are some in smaller instances that goes as far as 4 a.m. in the morning. And so all the stakeholders are aware of that, and that's one of the things in terms of our dialogue we were able to share, and we ask persons to comply with the law.
And for those who go out looking for trouble, the police chief says officers will be out in full force, especially at night, and violence will not be tolerated.
Those, that small group of persons that we ask that you behave yourself, it is certainly wrong to disrupt the fun and pleasure of others at their expense because of your behavior. The police will spare no effort of coming after you, and as I said, we have locked in with the business owners. We have asked them to identify you, and we will come and get you off those premises. All to the point where we explain to them that we're going to continue to be a nuisance. We'll invite them to actually take you to court to bound you totally, entirely off the premises.
Italia Hall, ZNS Network News.
Officer in charge of the Eastern Division of Grand Bahama Island, Chief Superintendent Wendell Smith, addressing members of the Freeport Alliance Club this week on crime in Grand Bahama and the Bahamas. His presentation included findings from Commissioner of Police Anthony Ferguson's Meet the Press statistics and encouraged the Alliance to do their part to assist police with crime-fighting initiatives.
I showed them a perspective in community policing, an active citizenry, where it requires them to be a part of what it is that we're doing if they truly want to police their community. And I just showed them many aspects how they can involve themselves in being assisting in policing the Grand Bahama and the Bahamas by extension.
President of the Freeport Lions Club, Keith Bain, says the issue of crime is a serious one and Lions benefited from the presentation.
For the past couple of months, crime is being very rampant to the country, especially through the island of Grand Bahama. So it's very important that the Lions Club understand the situation concerning crime on the island. It helps you personally, and you have an idea of what the police is doing, and you understand the importance of the police, and you realize that they're doing a good job.
Now, immigration officers taking a Haitian national before the court today and for illegal landing. 38-year-old Blanco Jean appeared before Magistrate Charlton Smith, and he pled guilty to the charge. Jean claimed that he entered the Bahamas illegally by boat from Haiti in July of last year and remained in the country without legal status. Magistrate Smith convicted Blanco Jean of the offense and ordered him to pay $300 or, in default, spend 2 months at the Bahamas Department of Corrections. Upon payment of the fine or completion of his court-imposed custodial sentence, Jean will be sent back to Haiti. Grand Bahama schools are among the recipients of a sizable donation from Cornell University. This presentation, the biggest in recent time, will place schools on the cutting edge of technology. Italia Hall reports.
Cornell University has had a long relationship with many public and private entities on Grand Bahama over the years. Representative of Cornell's association, Joseph Kohler, says this time around some 50 computers are being donated to the Cancer Society of Grand Bahama and the Ministry of Education. He says the Bahamas has been the largest recipient thus far.
Every 24 to 36 months, the professors and the faculty and the deans and the trustees, they lose their computers because they got to have the newest gizmo gadget out there. So the club goes in with all student, all staff, volunteers who go in after hours, take the computers out of the lab and bring them to a refurbishing center on their time, reach into their own pocket, pack them, check them out. These computers cost Cornell University somewhere around $2,300 to $2,700 each.
Parliamentary Secretary in the Office of the Prime Minister, Pakeisha Parker Edgecombe, says it is this type of partnership that facilitates the upward mobility of students.
We know that international relationships also play a vital role in the way that we move forward as a country. And when we think of technology and education, both are the same, as we now are finding that those advancements has to be included in the way that we teach our children. The donation of these computers will go a very long way, we are certain. And as the government of the Bahamas, we thank you for your partnership throughout the years, and also that of Cornell University, who's demonstrated that they're not just confined to the U.S. and its development, but the world.
The Cancer Society received one of the computers. Terry Goldsmith says the donation is appreciated.
We're very sad that the Cancer Society headquarters were damaged during the hurricanes, and they lost their equipment. And of course, as always, Joe Kohler steps up to the plate.
The Ministry of Education received the other 49 computers. Superintendent Marvin Rolls says this gift will enable students to make meaningful contributions.
It is our desire to distribute these computers to 8 Mile Rock, St. George's, Jack Haywood High Schools, Walter Parker and Maurice Moore Primary Schools, the Grand Key All-Age School, and 2 schools in Bimini, namely the Louise McDonald High School, my alma mater, and Bimini Primary School.
Italia Hall, ZNS Network News.
The Grand Bahama community mourning the death of a great humanitarian and a former patron of the Let's Read Bahamas campaign. Lady Laurie Miller, the wife of the late Sir Albert Miller, died at her home around 1:20 this afternoon. The Miller family issued a statement on her passing this evening. It reads in part, "It is with tremendous grief and sadness that we confirm the passing of our dear mother and friend. As we mourn, we are minded of her devotion to God, commitment to humanity, her dedication and love to family, friends, and mankind. She lived a full and exemplary life, and we would truly miss her. The Miller family is thanking all for their love and support and asks for the continued prayers of the entire community. Lady Laurie Miller was 93 years old. Deputy Prime Minister and a member of Parliament for East Grand Bahama issuing a statement on the death of Lady Laurie Miller. The Deputy Prime Minister, the Honorable K. Peter Turnquist, says Lady Miller's passing presents a tremendous loss for Grand Bahama and the wider Bahamas. He says Lady Miller was a God-fearing woman who bore a spirit of philanthropy and contributed much to our national development. Minister Turnquist extending heartfelt sympathy to the Miller family and the wider community on behalf of the government of the Bahamas. Stay with us. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition continues in just a moment.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Dolly Madison, Freeport's original home center.
You name it, and Dolly's got it in the bag. That means they have it all. Gorgeous rooms to go furniture and accessories. Radio Shack electronics and musician supplies. Ace hardware and housewares. Whirlpool and GE appliances. Ace paint and supplies. The Garden Center. We have thousands of items to choose from to make your home run. And Dolly Madison is committed to providing you with quality name brand products at great everyday savings. Yes, Dolly Madison Home Center's got it in the bag.
The floodgates are open.
I believe that H. Forbes' charter is about to soar into a next level of greatness.
And God still works all things together for good.
That if I recommended Hadley, he always went above and beyond.
Brother Hadley Forbes, there are double portion blessings coming your way. The Lord will make a way somehow.
KFC Famous Bowls are back. Stay warm this winter with KFC Famous Bowls. Regular and barbecue. Hot, creamy mashed potatoes, topped with corn and the Colonel's delicious popcorn chicken, layered in hot gravy or our sweet honey barbecue sauce, topped with our 3-cheese blend. So much to eat. What are you waiting on? Stay cold or get warm with KFC Famous Bowls. Available at all KFC restaurants in Freeport.
Noir Makeup by Megan Coakley. When you want to look like a star. Phone 443-7979. Covering the Northern Bahamas, you're watching the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. The Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture's Fresh Start program graduation ceremony taking place recently. Over 500 persons applied for the opportunity, and after an interviewing and a training process, 76 of them can boast of completing the program. Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture, the Honorable Michael Pintard, congratulating the graduates as well as their support teams.
What you have done over the course of the last few months really exemplifies the kind of discipline and character and determination that you have shown. I know some of the struggles many of you have had personally, and nevertheless, you rose above those challenges. And so we are proud of you, and we know that this is yet another start in your life, and you will be doing incredible things. But just before I speak to you, let me say to all of your support team, to parents, guardians and friends, husband and wives, to teachers and coaches, to the mentors and the lecturers, to all of you who have deposited in our young people's lives, I want to say from the bottom of my heart, on behalf of a grateful country and this government, thank you very much. The sacrifices that you've made is incredible.
Graduates receive their skill certificates, Bahama Host certificates, as well as certificates from the Migrants Bahama Customer Service Training Program.
Minister Pintard commending the graduates for taking the initiative to equip themselves with skills that can never be taken away from them.
Having skills put them in a position where no matter which government is in, they get to write the next chapter in their own life, because it does not depend ultimately on government where you go in this life. It depends on to what extent you are prepared to go to door 1, and when it's closed, you go to door 2, and when that's shut, you drop kick door number 3 down, because you are equipped to do it. Yes, sometimes connections and who you know and what organization you're associated with may get you in the door. It does not guarantee that you stay. It certainly doesn't guarantee your elevation, but more importantly, it doesn't equip you to make a difference.
Scores of young girls preparing for the launch of another season of the Princess Court program. The Purity Initiative kicks off on Saturday and will run for a period of 6 weeks. Stephanie Burrows is the executive director. She says she's encouraged as the program continues to mold young women into productive citizens of society.
To date, we have a number of princesses that are really doing well in the community and in school. To date, we have about 23 prefects. We have 5 head girls, 1 policeman, 5 teachers, 21 princesses who are now in college. We had 1 Miss Grand Bahama. We had 6 students who were nominated as Student of the Year. And we have 30 churches that participate in the Princess Court, and we also have 16 schools.
Deborah Pratt, a leader with the Princess Court program, says the young girls are taught important life lessons.
We have activities such as arts and crafts, cooking, baking, etiquette, fun and fitness, health and hygiene, sewing, and skincare. And at the end of the 4 to 6 weeks, we come together for the grand ceremony that we call a pledging ceremony. This is where the girls receive the first-time girls who are pledging for the first time princesses, they receive what we call their purity pearls. So we would often encourage the parents to be there at the pledging ceremony, and the parents will be the ones to actually place the pearls on their daughters.
March will be celebrated as Police Month. Events will begin tomorrow, March 1st, with the semifinals of the police debate and speech competition at the Police Training College. Superintendent Walter Henderson encouraging everyone to take time out and attend.
In the debate competition, the semifinals, the 2 teams going up against each other will be Mobile versus Central for the debate, and the topic is, be it resolved, all officers should undergo psychological and physical exams prior to re-engagement. Also on this coming Thursday will be the semi-finals for our speech competition, and that is also between Mobile and Western Division. Those 2 teams will go up for the speech semi-finals, and so the topic for that is the implementation of a wellness program and its implications on an officer's overall health and performance indicators.
The competition will begin at 7 p.m. Henderson says the purpose of the debate and speech competition is to showcase the talent within the organization.
It helps to cause officers to do research, to find different sources that support their side, even though at times you may be debating a side that you really don't believe, but to find that there's always 2 coins to each topic, and to be open-minded, to be able to grasp the things that are strong and supportive, and to be able to share that information with others.
And now it is time to Ask the Doctor.
Hi and welcome. A young viewer sent this question. I have sickle cell disease and have been admitted to the hospital for low blood. Why has my blood been so low to the point where I require a blood transfusion? Thank you for such a wonderful question that touches on a very important issue of sickle cell disease or sickle cell anemia, especially for a majority of Black population like the Bahamas. Before I address the question, it's important that we all understand some basic information about sickle cell anemia. Sickle cell disease is an inherited form of anemia, which means it is acquired from both parents. It's a condition in which there aren't enough healthy red blood cells to carry adequate oxygen throughout your body. If only one parent carries the gene, then a child will not be born with this very serious condition, but the child has a 50% chance of also being a carrier and passing the gene on to his or her children. It is usually diagnosed in young babies and toddlers. There's no cure for sickle cell disease, but there are treatments to manage the condition and relieve symptoms as they occur, which include medications and sometimes blood transfusions. I'm Dr. Monique Pratt, and this has been Ask the Doctor.
Don't go away, Ricardo Lightborn is up next with a check on sports.
See your new colors like never before on the Voice of Color touchscreen digital display. Get your free custom consultation at Paint Fair 352-9788.
Excuse me, Mr. Arnold. I overheard you talking to Bree about BIBT, but I didn't hear you tell her about the new bachelor's degree program. Check it out, man. I already signed up.
New bachelor's degree program. Accounting, business administration, human resource management, convenient evening classes, affordable tuition, accelerated completion time, and they approved by NACOP? Oh, she ain't gonna never have to leave this island. I can call her right now. Homeboy, do me a favor, eh? Stop overhearing my conversations.
Bahamas Institute of Business and Technology. Phone us today. Freeport Campus 351-2673 or Nassau Campus 325-2016. BIBT, pursuing knowledge, applying wisdom.
Do you know what driving while intoxicated means? Motorists who drive while texting. Did you know that motorists who talk on handheld or even hand-free devices while driving are just as impaired as drunk drivers? Countless of accidents happen every year and even deaths due to these thoughtless actions. So remember, the next time you're tempted to text and drive, remember it may mean life or death.
This message was brought to you by the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas and John West Shoe Store. We're going to take you there in style. It is exciting, innovative, it is fresh, and yes, awe-inspiring.
Phenomenal with Joan Davis Roll.
Only on the ZNS Television Network.
Everybody, it's Sports Time. I'm Ricardo Lightborn. Today, this one goes out to my little brother over there in Grand Key, Craig Cephas, who's celebrating, and our very own Debbie Sears down there in New Providence. Debbie, congratulations. Well, the Subway Junior Tennis Tournament was played over the weekend, folks. The YMCA Tennis Courts was the venue, and Natalia Hall stopped in.
The tournament was filled with 4 days of fun, competition, and tennis. There were a total of 49 participants, and almost half of that number included players from New Providence. President of the Grand Bahama Tennis Association, Natishka Barrett, says the tournament is a BLTA-sanctioned event, and this year the matches are very exciting.
We are trying to prepare our children to compete internationally, and so having these type of events are important for ranking the children so that the BLTA can make selections from the pool of players, as well as to give them exposure to competing in an official atmosphere or environment.
Parents were out in full force. The players from New Providence had the support of their parents as well. Tournament director Danny Rigby says that is a good sign.
Some of them they're here from morning until evening, you know, and that's kind of hard to do. So it's happy to see all the parents, you know, supporting the kids.
Brianna Hallgrave won the girls' 8 and under title. Zamer Davis is the boys' champion. In the under-10 division, Jaleesa Clark is the girls' champion. The boys' winner is Jackson Martarget. Jaleesa Clark won the girls' under-12 division. Michael Major is the junior champion. Kaylee Kanuka won the girls' 14 and under division. Michael Major Jr. stepped up and won. In the 16 and under division, Gabriel Sims is your champion. Coffee Bow is the boys' champion. In the under-18 division, Jacoby Bain is the boys' champ and Sydney Clark for the girls. Italia Hall, ZNS Total Sports.
Let's go to Little League Baseball play from the weekend, and then Coach pitched the Camacho Buccaneers with a 5-0 advantage over the Powerade Lions, and also they're playing 500 ball as far as that is concerned, and also the standings. And also you look at the Predators at 0-1, the Buccaneers gray at 0-4, and also in the minor league division, MSC Shippers are also 2-0. The Buccaneers with the win, a loss of the draw. The Predators with the draw, and also GB Port Authority regulators, the Lions it is, with 2 loss, and they're looking to get something going. The 12-0 division, you have the Palomers Lions with 4 wins and a loss, and the Fairfield Container Port Buccaneers 3-1. Buccaneers Red, they are also at 3 losses as well and a win, and the VDC Predators have 0-3, and hopefully they can turn that around. Well, the 47th Grifter Track and Field Championships, folks, is March 30th to the April 2nd. It's going to cost over $1.9 million. B3's executives want Grand Bahama to appeal to the local folks here to support it. President of Bahama Associated Athletic Association's Rosemont Carey addressing the Rotary Club of Lucaya on the upcoming 47th Carifta Track and Field Championship March 30th to April 2nd at the Thomas A. Robinson National Stadium. Carey says the meet is going to carry a staggering price tag.
The estimated budget of these games is some $1.9 million. The bulk of this is the Games Village. What happened was that in the previous Carifta, when we hosted in 2013, unfortunately, we had to use different hotels as the venue. That meant that you had some countries that were in the high-end hotel and some were in the lower-end hotel. And that created a disparity, and that caused a lot of issues, as you could imagine.
The B3A's president appealed to the Rotarians for their financial support, especially as the Games Village will cost over $600,000.
We recognize that we cannot be successful without you, our corporate sponsors and social partners and sponsors. Your partnering with us will show us that you understand the positive economic implications that this event will have on our communities. The hotel room nights, the taxis, the food vendors, the added traffic to our store vendors and local economy.
The 47th edition of the Carifta Track and Field Championships will be in honor of the late Dr. B.J. Nottage, past president of the B3As. Now, just to get you guys into the track and field mode, this coming Saturday will be the 4th annual Fast Track Fletcher Lewis Invitational. That's going to be over there at the Grand Bahama Sports Complex. That's going to be on the 3rd. It's going to be 11 o'clock starting time. And then also to keep you going is the High School National Track and Field Championship. That's now March 8th through the 10th. That's at the Thomas A. Stadium down there in New Providence. 32 Family Island schools already confirmed. And tomorrow, 1 o'clock, tune in to ZNS. The IAAF Indoor Championships is going to be aired, and you can see what our athletes are doing over there with the opening ceremony. So tomorrow, as well as Friday, Saturday, track and field from London will be the case. Let's look at sports tonight.
I'm Hugh Ferguson from Budget Pest Control. After 30 years in this industry, testing hundreds of pest control products, none has impressed me more than Vape. Vape 90-Day Mosquito Destroyer, Vape Aerosol, and Vape Mosquito Coil. Vape is the only spray that you will find in my house and my mother's house, and it should be the only one in yours. In pest control, there are only 2 names to remember: Vape and Budget Pest Control.
At Grand Bahama Power Company, customers are at the heart of what we do. That's why we are continually finding ways to improve our service to you. You can avoid the line and pay your bill at our 24-hour kiosk at any time. With real-time processing, payments can be submitted with cash, credit card, or check. Conveniently located at our headquarters, this simple and easy process will have you done in 5 minutes or less.
This month alone, I reduced my power bill by over $300 by purchasing a solar system from Northern Bahamas Utility Company. My power bill is now $16. Can you believe it?
Here's another reason why owning a solar system from Northern Bahamas Utilities is right for you. Stop by today at number 8 Oak Street or call us at 225-0766 extension 106 and ask about our in-house financing or lease-to-own option. See you today.
Tomorrow, I'm playing hooky. All right? I'm not coming in tomorrow. I have to watch the IWF World. That's going to be coming up. I must also watch golf.
Okay.
That's coming up. And then the wife tell me I got to do laundry.
This all sounds important. So when I want to play hooky, I should let you know in advance or just call in?
Just call in.
Just call in? Okay. That's going to do for us here in the north.
Oh, we kind of like what?
I'm Megan Shepherd. The Bombers Tonight. Continue.
In the National Report, immigration officers conducting another immigration roundup here in the capital. Haitian leaders supporting the government's decision to deal with shantytowns across this country. The Frank Smith bribery and extortion trial continues in court. And 2 people lost their lives on our streets in 2 separate incidents. We've got an update from traffic police. The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, starts right now.
This portion of the news is brought to you by BTC Every Day.
Another group of illegal immigrants taken into custody today. Good evening, everyone. I'm LaDawn Davis. An apprehension exercise taking place this morning. The operation was carried out by joint law enforcement teams on our streets. Cleopatra Murphy was there as the immigrants were taken in.
Traffic came to a near standstill on East Bay Street early Wednesday morning as immigration officers and police conducted a joint operation targeting suspected illegal immigrants. Cars and buses were stopped, while some were able to produce documents that saw them continue on their way. By 9:30 a.m., 17 migrants were in custody, bound for the Carmichael Road Detention Center. Director of Immigration Clarence Russell says they were suspected of illegal landing or expired work permits.
They will be processed, and if persons are found to be wanting, then the law will take its course. If persons were to present and or their sponsors to present letters that suggest that they are lawfully here and perhaps just did not have them in their possession, then due process will also take its course.
Russell says the department is acting on its mandate that has not changed, but there is now an urgency to it following the December 31st deadline by Prime Minister Dr. the Honorable Hubert Minnis, who issued an edict that illegals leave the country or face deportation. Russell says immigration officers are not thugs and perform their duties within the confines of the law and humanely.
We're not in the business of depriving persons of their lawful rights. But without fear and or favor, we will uphold the laws of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. So help us God. That is our sworn duty, and that is precisely what we intend to do. But fairly, though firmly, that is our mandate.
The Director of Immigration acknowledges that the operation during the early morning commute may have inconvenienced some, but says sometimes the public has to pay for a smooth and law-abiding country.
We are not in the business of interrupting the smooth progress of traffic, but from time to time, based on our mandate and based on the needs of the public with regard to the Immigration Department protecting our sovereignty, we will have to suffer a little bit of inconvenience.
Cleopatra Murphy, ZNS Network News.
A group of Haitian pastors are speaking up and standing firm with the government on its decision to regularize shantytowns. The pastors tell ZNS News that they are ready to provide assistance to the Haitians that would be affected. DeAndre Williamson tells us more.
Whatsoever government willing to do with our nationality, those that want an opportunity to help, we willing to help them in each way.
Reverend Osmond Cyril is a part of a group of Haitian pastors who are willing to provide assistance to members of the Haitian community who will be relocated when the government demolishes the shantytowns throughout the country.
If government desire that to say, okay, break the shantytown, some of them let everybody is not illegal here. Some of them have a purpose residency and even naturalization in the country, and then they still living in the Shantytown. But if government protesting against the way they live for the country, probably for the better of themselves, and they want to ask those the pastors who in the community that to do something to help them, I think we're willing to work along with the program and whatsoever we could able to contribute to make them on a better life, just on a better way to live, we're willing to do just that.
Minister of Labor Dion Folk said recently that he met with 16 Haitian Bahamian pastors, and the government is now in the consultative process concerning the demolition of shanty towns, and results are expected by summer. The group of Haitian pastors were not a part of the government's meeting, and while they support the government's decision, they have concerns over the losses Haitian migrants endure when deported to Haiti.
All those investments they make, so I would like to know when they catch. There's no way, yes, they can get no benefits, nothing, and then dollar, because they'll be in the country investing so long, and now they get cash. They even, some of them have some money off to their bank, they can't even get it. And now they lock them up and send them back, they lose everything.
Agreeing with the government's announcement that all illegal migrants must leave the country, the Haitian pastors are sending a strong message to illegals living in shanty towns like this to return home.
There is no one above the law. And I encourage my people. I told them if they're here and they don't have no legal papers to be in this country, better things to do, get preparation, prepare yourself, and leave.
They also stress their message in Creole.
Haïtien qui vivent dans la communauté qui pas un status qui légal et yo mandé nous dans 31 depuis dans 31 décembre janvier à quoi que nous te quitté. Mais loi toujours signé yo mandé nous si nous pas un bagay qui propose dans nous pas quitter nous yo kembe nous depuis qu'on y a nous gon décision nous gon bagay nous gain pour nous capable parler ti mettre en côté ou bien gon monde qui souhaite et puis relé mettre un bagay en côté pour et puis si tu as une gain catch je ne jodi a et puis ou joindre un monde qui capable voyer pour en Haïti.
For ZNS Network News, I'm DeAndre Williamson.
25 people are expected to be sworn in as Bahamians on Thursday. This from Immigration Minister the Honorable Brent Simonet last evening as he addressed the issue during a constituency town meeting. Minister Simonet says this exercise is done every 2 weeks as government seeks to significantly reduce the backlog in applications. He admits the swearing-in process has become easier since government appointed a Citizenship Commission to review citizenship applications.
The first meeting they dealt with 19 files, approved 18, and deferred 1. The second one, I think they did 38 files in their second meeting, and they hope to get up to 50 files per meeting twice a month. That's 100 people. That's from every nationality. That's just not, whatever country you come from. That then, the recommendation comes to me. I take a simple paper to cabinet and say, these are the 38 people, the 50 people, and there would be very unusual circumstances for cabinet to disagree with what the commission did.
Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, the Honorable Peter Turnquest, addressing climate change and technology as he met with governors of the Inter-American Development Bank in Jamaica. The DPM, who was also an IDB governor, participated in panel discussions with Jamaican Prime Minister Andrew Holness and former President of the Republic of Estonia, Toomas Hendrik Ilves, on the importance of embracing the digital revolution, the ease of doing business, and reducing high and low-level corruption. The Deputy Prime Minister also held bilateral discussions on Estonia's e-governance model and technical resources available to assist the Bahamas move forward with its plan to digitize its governance infrastructure. The nation's chief issuing a statement on the passing of Sir Durward Knowles. He says he was saddened by the passing of a Bahamian son and patriot, noted businessman and sportsman. The Prime Minister says Sir Durward possessed an enthusiastic and exuberant spirit and the joy of living. He called him a philanthropist and a man of tremendous generosity and compassion, who exemplified the spirit of volunteerism and community service. Last year, the country was able to pay fitting tribute when Sir Durward achieved achieved another milestone as a centenarian. The Prime Minister says he also showed a commitment to equality and justice, demonstrating the nobility and largeness of spirit to confront certain historic wrongs in our country, which some others chose to silently ignore at best. Sir Durward was also known for his work in helping the disabled. The Prime Minister says this involvement with the disabled community demonstrated a core value of Sir Durward. Dr. Minnis extends condolences to the family. And still to come, find out why Kofi Goodman was back in court today. And track and field action taking place at the National Stadium. You're watching The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report.
This portion of the news is brought to you by the new Shell and Letty, designed for extra miles.
Are your monthly bills coming in on top of your holiday bills? It's time for a change. Bundle your bills into one low-rate loan with Commonwealth Bank. Move your high-rate loans and credit card balances from other banks to a low-rate consolidation loan at Commonwealth Bank. Less stress, less to pay, each and every month. Plus, the chance to win $5,000. So make a change. Get a consolidation loan at Commonwealth Bank and pay less.
Every day you wake up with the world in the palm of your hand. Making connections and creating memories and sharing them with the people you care about. Every day, the world is at your fingertips, and you can experience every blockbuster movie in stunning HD and top 100 Billboard music hit with the touch of a button. Every day, your family and friends are important to you, and staying in touch no matter where you are in the Bahamas or the world is your #1 priority. And that's why, every day for over 100 years, BTC has been there to ensure that every Bahamian has the best connection to the world. We cover every island, rock and key, regardless of the cost. This is BTC Country.
With KFC's Family Deal, everything is under control.
Dad genius.
Enjoy our family deal with 8 pieces of freshly prepared chicken, large family fries, and 4 biscuits. All for just $20 including VAT. KFC Nassau, it's finger-licking good.
Hi, Edwin Johnson, Executive Chef here at Sappadilla. Let me invite you out to our corporate lunches. Exciting menu that changes every week. Beautiful entrees, 3 courses. Affordable, very affordable. And for you who missed December, I'm doing it again, especially for you. Live the experience at Sappadilla.
Sunsets. Now that I'm retired, it's the simple things in life that are enjoyable. I couldn't say that a few years ago because I never thought of or planned for the inevitable, and I never considered the debt I would leave my family in.
BAF's final expense plan. Coverage up to $50,000 and it never decreases in value. Affordable monthly payments that never increase. Accidental death coverage and no medical exam or lab test required.
Now that I have BAF's final expense plan, I worry no more.
Good night, BTC family. It's Julian Believe, and we're back with another BTC Tech Tip.
Yeah, I got a call saying BTC is putting fiber in my neighborhood, but I don't even know what fiber is.
Fiber is the latest data transfer technology, providing high-speed internet connection at up to 1,000 megabits per second. With fiber to the home, customers can experience great bandwidth and reliability with their internet connection. And that bandwidth allows for services like smart home systems, Flow TV, and even home office internet.
How much will it cost to install?
Installing fiber has no cost to you if you're an existing BTC fixed line customer. However, if you are a brand new BTC customer, the installation cost is $150. And get this, having a fiber line connected to your home actually increases the value of your property.
Wow, now that makes it worth it.
And there you have another BTC Tech Tip. See you next time.
This portion of the news brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
The bribery and extortion case of former Public Hospitals Authority Chairman Frank Smith was adjourned again today. Fern Carey tells us what prompted the adjournment and what the defense is seeking.
The Frank Smith bribery and extortion case was adjourned Wednesday after Crown Counsel Edward Jenkins QC indicated that certain documents they need from a number of banks were not yet available. He explained that the documents go to the heart of the case and are necessary for the just resolution of the matter. That did not sit well with head of the defense team, Jamaican Queen's Counsel Katie Knight. He made an application for the court to dismiss the matter against Mr. Smith, alleging misconduct on the part of the police and prosecution. He also cited the issue of disclosure, suggesting that Mr. Smith cannot have a fair trial. Mr. Knight then explained that they received a report dated February 26 of this year, which revealed that certain sums of money were allegedly received by Mr. Smith. However, Mr. Knight accused the investigating officer of making selective omissions in the report. He called the investigation sinister and outrageous. However, Chief Magistrate Joyanne Ferguson Pratt called the application to dismiss premature. She said she would wait until the investigating officer gave his testimony and then decide how much weight to place on it. Meanwhile, she questioned why matters pertaining to the root of the case were just being brought to the surface some 6 months after Mrs. Smith had been charged. Both sides returned to court on May 14th. Fern Carey, ZNS Network News.
Convicted murderer Kofi Goodman was expected to learn his fate today after a jury convicted him in a retrial last year for killing 11-year-old Marco Archer. However, the matter was pushed back to a later date. Prosecutors said Archer left home and went across the street to buy candy, but never returned. A partly decomposing body was later found near an apartment out west. Justice Carolita Bethel is expected to sentence Goodman on March 19th. Investigations continue into that murder in the Yellow Elder Gardens area last night, where a man was shot and killed. Police say the incident took place just before 11 at a home on Seymour Street. Police identifying the victim of that hit-and-run accident in Cable Beach this morning as 39-year-old Jane Surrey. Authorities say she was struck and killed shortly after 4 while jogging. Assistant Commissioner of Police Kendall Strawn gave us the latest on their investigations.
Since the accident occurred this morning at West Bay Street in the area of Bay Rock, the police have been able to locate and identify a vehicle, an SD-type vehicle, with which we were looking for since the incident. However, the driver has not yet been located, and I am appealing once again to the members of the public, if you know who at the time of this incident was driving that vehicle, or likewise to the individual who was driving that vehicle, you need to turn yourself in. A family is grieving because of the loss of their loved one.
So far, 15 people have died as a result of traffic accidents across this country, and Strawn says the number of pedestrians losing their lives is increasing. However, he notes that authorities are cracking down on those who break the law.
Out of our 6,900 plus interaction with members of the public so far for this year, some 3,900 plus individuals have been reported for various traffic-related offenses. We still have, however, some 1,289 reports of traffic accidents thus far for this year, which really is only 16 more than was recorded during the same period of last year. Hit and runs seem to have also increased by some 14, which results, our records reflect some 178 being reported thus far for this year, compared to 164 for the same period last year.
Starting tomorrow, officers from the Royal Bahamas Police Force will be trading in their uniforms for a little bit of fun and camaraderie as they observe Police Month here in the capital. But even though officers will engage in a number of activities, that does not mean the law will not be strictly enforced. Now, joining us live in studio to share more details on Police Month is Assistant Commissioner of Police Stephen Dean and Press Liaison Officer Shanta Knowles. Thank you both for joining us here on the Bahamas Tonight. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Dean, are you able to talk to us a little bit about the genesis of Police Month?
What we can tell you that Police Month, we are talking about under the theme Celebrating the Past and Protecting the Future. We thought it was time, because sometimes we can continue to work every day, but sometimes we rest on the laurels of the hard men and women from 1840, 178 years, who started this road before us, who labored to cause men like myself, Commissioner Anthony Ferguson, Superintendent Knowles, and others to be here today. It's on that foundation and the community support. We would have not been successful today had we not had a successful partnership with the community. So we use this opportunity to thank community members for the support they continue, the love, and we looking at this to be an impetus to increase that celebrations that we share.
And Ms. Knowles, are you able to share with us some of the activities planned for Police Month?
We have a very exciting roster of activities planned, beginning on Saturday with the Fun Run Walk, which begins at 6 a.m. from police headquarters. Registration is ongoing. You can contact the Secretariat at our police headquarters. There are a number of sporting events such as basketball and softball and track and field. However, we are going into the communities with mini tattoos, 7 to be exact, for the Fox Hill, Baintown, Nassau Village, Camp Road, Gambia Village, Mount Moriah, and Centerville communities. So we're inviting the public to come out, enjoy the music of the Royal Bahamas Police Force Band, performances by the K9 unit, our mobile unit, the traffic division, and of course the fire department.
Now, Mr. Dean, how important is it for officers to show their softer side to the public apart from their daily jobs?
Well, we must not, while we talk about it, there may be some criminals listening. We will not be resting on our laurels. I'm going to tell you, just as we simultaneously, as we celebrate Police Month, to celebrate the officers, the spirit, sometimes we must celebrate ourselves. Oftentimes, we're doing some good work. So we are showing community support, we are showing that we are human beings too. But the criminal elements who believe that because it's Police Month, we will be tying up the banners. I'm going to tell you, you're going to see a number of operations going on. So we'll make sure they're in a place where they need to be, whether it's in prison or wherever they need to be while we celebrate this month. The Bahamian people must celebrate. There's a time they must celebrate their relationship between the police and the community. The Bahamas is a good place. This is the #1 law enforcement agency in the Bahamas. So we must celebrate. Our sister law enforcement officers will be assisting us and participating with us.
And Ms. Knowles, just before we go, are these events open to the public, and where will they actually take place?
Yes, the events are open to the public. We will culminate with the Grand Ball on the 7th of April at Bahamas Resort, and also the Police Variety Concert. So come on out. Tickets are on sale at any divisional police station in your division or at police headquarters.
And which teams are you both on?
Well, because I'm the chairman, I cannot be on no teams, but we are supporting. But we want to tell the Bahamas that this is simultaneously happening throughout the whole Bahamas. It's happening in Grand Bahama. Every family island, we have some sort of activity to get the community involved. We have to show respect and thank the community for the support they've been giving, the unwavering support, and we want the support to continue and increase.
Again, thank you both for joining us here on the Bahamas Tonight, and best of luck to you both.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
This is your Royal Fidelity Business News. I'm Jimenita Swain. The success of the newly launched Grand Bahama Micro and Small Business Economic Empowerment and Incentive Program appears to be reaping benefits. This as a second group was certified this week at the Office of the Prime Minister in Freeport. The certification of the 50 new business owners and the expectation of the programs being extended to not just a third, but also a fourth group of individuals has brought to light what Minister of State for Grand Bahama Senator Kwesi Thompson has been touting all along, quote, that small businesses will be a big part of the economic turnaround for Grand Bahama, end quote. The businesses represented a cross-section of careers, including restaurant, pastry and bakery, nails and cosmetics, bone fishing, signage, perfume making, and landscaping. In other business news, Regional Banking Award landed by Sally Lang. She beat out nominees throughout the Bahamas and the region for CIBC First Caribbean's Retail Spirit Award. Lang says she was in shock and in awe and was unaware that a team and colleagues were working behind the scenes to nominate her. The Freeport branch manager says she was happy about it and felt privileged. Lang has worked for the bank since 1982. And in international business news, the National Football League announcing plans to bid farewell to Papa John's Pizza and sign a deal with Pizza Hut. Today, the league announced a multi-year marketing deal with Pizza Hut a day after cutting ties with Papa John's. The league's relationship with Papa John became strained last year after Papa John criticized the NFL's leadership over the national anthem protest by players. While Pizza Hut said its marketing partnership with the NFL will begin with the league's April 2018 draft in Arlington, Texas, just miles from Pizza Hut's headquarters in Plano. Well, that was your Royal Fidelity Business News. I'm Jimenita Swing.
Know how you can save more money, save more time, earn more interest, and have more for the future? The solution is an account from Fidelity Bank. With our ASU Savings, fixed deposits, and preferred client program, you can get free financial advice from our team of experts, competitive interest rates, and free online banking for simple and safe banking anytime, anywhere. Open a fixed deposit or savings account with Fidelity by visiting a branch today. Get into the rhythm of saving with Fidelity. Fidelity, we're good for you.
This is the start of a new day. I'm alive. Alive is igniting the mobile communications market in the Bahamas. The calls are clear. The speeds are fast. It's nothing better. This is Darryl Miller Live, and I'm alive. I believe in best.
Have you heard about RIA? It's one of Cash and Go's new ways to transfer money. RIA allows you to send money for cash pickup or direct to a bank account. Send money, pay bills, pay insurance, purchase airline tickets, make Visa payments. Love Cash and Go. Ask us about RIA money transfer today. For more information, call 322-CASH or visit simplycashandgo.com.
And now, up-to-the-minute financial insights and advice from RBC Finco with the RBC Mortgage Minute.
Hi, I'm Andia Murray, and I'm an RBC Finco mortgage specialist. Don't make an offer without getting pre-qualified for a mortgage or a residential property loan. We'll gather all the information and let you know exactly how much you can borrow based on your down payment and the payment amount you can comfortably afford. You'll receive a pre-approved certificate showing the amount you can borrow, the down payment required, the term you selected, and the amount of your monthly payments. There's no cost or obligation, so come in and pre-qualify today. At RBC Finco, it's all about you.
That was the RBC Mortgage Minute. To learn more, please call or visit your nearest RBC Finco branch. It's all about you.
The government high school recognized 107 students in a ceremony this morning for attaining honor roll status. Principal Eloise Wims encouraged students to set goals, which is in keeping with the school's 2018 theme, creating a quality culture of excellence. Principal Eloise Wims encouraged students to set goals.
What you believe, you can certainly achieve. And you must expect great things. You must expect greatness. You can achieve greatness when you focus on the focus. And the more you focus on greatness, the more you realize that mediocrity just won't do.
WIMS confirmed that their goal is to increase the graduation rate to 42%, up from 37%. Class of 1987 donated computers, and the Bahamas Youth Network donated $15,000 worth of sports equipment. Guest speaker was 2009 GHS graduate Rashad Cunningham, who teaches at E.P. Roberts Primary. He thanked his teachers for being good role models and encouraged students to persevere.
What you believe, you can certainly achieve. And you must expect great things. You must expect greatness. You can achieve greatness when you focus on the focus. And the more you focus on greatness, the more you realize that mediocrity just won't do.
Earlier this week, students of the government high school band Magic Ivy paid a courtesy call on the Honorable Desmond Bannister, who at the time was the acting prime minister. Accompanying them was Mr. Bannister's GHS class of 1975 classmate Obi Penling, 1975, and music teacher Yonel Justilian. Both Minister Bannister and Penling, as well as the permanent secretary Antoinette Thompson, told them of the history and prestige of GHS and admonished them to uphold the tradition. Minister Bannister told them it begins with them.
It means that you're going to have to prepare yourselves and utilize your opportunity at Government High to be able to do the kinds of things that life throws your way. And they're going to be wonderful opportunities. The important thing to remember is that the school has a tradition. And people who attend that school need to uphold the tradition.
Justilian, a former Teacher of the Year, lauded the students for their musical abilities and is encouraged by the performing arts nationwide.
When I look at what's been going on in performing arts in the country, I'm wondering if the public is really paying attention, because we have kids right now, within the past 7 years, even through the program Bahamas All Stars, there's 109 kids who was awarded music scholarships. So we won't be lacking in professional musicians, music educators, and even when I look at the prison band, the police force band, the defense force band, we have kids coming out of the school system, the various schools, and going in those areas. So performing arts is dear to my heart, and I just I'll do my best to promote it, and even let the parents know that, you know, putting that instrument in that child's hand and making that investment will pave the way for their future.
Stay close. Sports and Family Island weather are up next. You're watching The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report.
If you own a portfolio of securities within a brokerage account, like stocks, bonds, or mutual funds, you can access a hassle-free loan, known as a margin loan, based on the value of that portfolio. Your investment portfolio is essentially used as collateral for a cash loan, and the benefits are numerous. Simple and straightforward application, quick turnaround, a more competitive interest rate, no requirement for monthly payments. Contact us for more information on margin loans.
This is the start of a new day. I'm alive. Alive is igniting the mobile communications market in the Bahamas. The calls are clear. The speeds are fast. It's nothing better. This is Darryl Miller Live, and I'm alive. I believe in best.
I worked hard to do well in high school.
Now that I am graduating,
What am I going to do next?
what am I going to do this summer?
I'm going to the University of the Bahamas Summer Bridging Program.
You don't need PGCSE results to sit the entrance exam.
Available for 16 to 24-year-olds residing in New Providence, Grand Bahama, and throughout the Family Islands.
Are you motivated to attend university?
The best part for me though, on successful completion of the Summer Bridging Program, you can be guaranteed direct entry into the University of the Bahamas.
Colonial Group International has been protecting the lifestyles and livelihoods of Bahamians for over 20 years.
The best insurance cover at the best possible price.
Health insurance with far-reaching benefits.
Family protection and long-term financial plans.
business insurance, and generous employee benefits.
For happy beginnings to happy ever after, visit CGIGroup.com.
CGI, where people come first.
Fanta, supporting the greatest expression of Bahamian culture. More than one flavor, still one family.
The performance speaks for itself. Pennzoil Synthetics, made from natural gas. Make the switch.
It's time now for a check on temperatures around our family islands. Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean joins us live in studio with the latest. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, LaDawn. In our second look at weather, we're going to take a look at temperatures around the family islands, and they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. It is 74 degrees in Freeport, Grand Bahama, also Greentown Key in Abaco, in the Berry Islands, 76 degrees, Allenstown, Bimini, 75. Here in the capital, 77 degrees, Harbor Island, 76, Roxanne Eleuthera at 74 degrees, Stanley Key at 75, also Camp Space on Andrews, Fresh Creek, and Central Andrews, all reporting 75 degrees. In San Salvador, Rum Key, 74 degrees, Georgetown, Exuma at 76, Clarencetown, Long Island, Ragged Island, Crooked Island, 76 as well. Betsy Bay may go on a 75, also Ackland reporting 75 degrees. Matthewtown, Inagua, 76, and the Turks and Caicos Islands to the southeast at 76 degrees. And your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, the Tile King, and the Paint Setter. For all areas, an easterly flow around 10 to 15 knots. Those winds will be falling light and variable at times. Wave heights about 2 to 4 feet over the ocean. The low tide that will take place at 46 minutes past midnight. And then tomorrow, for all areas, light and variable winds throughout the 700 islands. Wave heights pretty flat at 1 to 3 feet over the ocean. High tide 7:03 in the morning. Low tide at 1:27 in the afternoon. And then we take you into Friday. The winds will blow out of the west to northwest ahead of a cold front, which will be pushing through on Friday. The details coming up a little later. Speeds around 10 to 15 knots. And the wave heights 2 to 4 feet over the ocean. High tide 7:53 in the morning, low tide at 2:14 in the afternoon. For the central and southeastern islands on Friday, winds falling off light and variable, wave heights 1 to 3 feet over the ocean. And that's going to do it for your boating forecast. It is time now for your travel forecast, and your travel forecast is brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. And that's going to do it for your travel forecast, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned, your extended weather forecast is coming up in about 20 minutes.
Welcome to Tips for Wellness. I'm Dr. Indira Grimes. Immunization or vaccination is the process in which a person's immune system becomes resistant to an infectious disease, normally through the use of a vaccine. Immunization works by stimulating your body's natural resistance to disease, and in doing so, creating immunity. When germs enter the body, the immune system recognizes them as foreign substances or antigens. The immune system then produces the right antibodies to fight the antigens. Vaccines contain weakened or dead versions of the antigens that causes diseases. This means that the antigens cannot produce the signs or symptoms of the disease, but they do stimulate the immune system to create antibodies. These antibodies help protect you if you are exposed to the disease in the future. Vaccines not only help keep your child healthy, they help all children by stamping out serious childhood diseases. The long-term goal is to completely end the threat of these illnesses. Vaccines are generally quite safe. The protection provided by vaccines far outweighs the very small risk of serious problems. Vaccines have made many serious childhood diseases rare today. Some vaccines may cause mild temporary side effects such as fever or soreness or a lump under the skin where the shot was given. Talk to your family doctor if you have any questions. It is always better to prevent a disease than to treat it after it happens. This has been Tips for Wellness. I'm Dr. Indira Grimes. Live your best life by living well.
The Home Gallery, formerly the Sleep Gallery. We're still the home of Tempur-Pedic, Sealy Posturepedic, Serta Perfect Sleeper Mattress, and so much more. We now carry an exquisite selection of fine linens, comforter, duvets, bath towels, rugs, and a wide assortment of home accessories. Everything you need to beautify your bed, bath, and home. You have to see it to believe it. The Home Gallery, open Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Cable Beach Shopping Plaza, Westridge.
Also now open at Harbor Bay. Move forward, Bahamas, and build high into the sky. Move upward and colorize those new walls. Move onward and build a garden to last a lifetime. Move together and settle into that new home. There's a lot of places you can do it for yourself, but there's one place to do it right. Builders Mall. We know exactly what motto you live by, and even the pros know building is just a part of what we do. So move forward, Bahamas. And remember, you can find it all at Builders Mall.
Whether you want to get going in a new car, to relax at home while you pay bills on your mobile banking app, to get the best rewards with your credit card, or to get a sure start on your little one's future. Whether you want a quick response on your loan, or just a range of services that keep your business running smoothly, you want banking that fits your life. CIBC First Caribbean, banking that fits your life.
At Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center, we provide imaging services to meet all your family's needs. Same goes for imaging at Grosvenor. We're the imaging experts. We never schedule multiple appointments, so you'll be in and out in no time. And if your initial screening reveals a concern, our radiology specialist can consult your doctor and conduct an alternative screening right then and there. Results are ready within 24 hours. Call 328-8157 to schedule an appointment at Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center or Imaging at Grosvenor today.
With prices so good you can't take them lightly, feel free to shop at Super Value and Quality Supermarket both daily and nightly. First choice sugar 4-pound bag $1.99. Panamie cooked shrimp 41.50 1-pound size $8.99. Par Excellence Par Bar rice 5-pound bag $2.99. Vitamin Tonic case price $23.76. 12-ounce bottle 99 cents. Sweet strawberries 1 pound 2 for $5. Carolina Pride hams 10-ounce size $2.99. Every day is special at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
That's good food and drinks. My mood makes you think that this life's made for a king. The room starts to shake, so smooth if you blink, you might just miss the whole thing. It's just a different way to move in the
Domino's242.com. Order online for parties, birthdays, celebrations, and even cheesy weddings.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Welcome to sports, everybody. The government secondary school track and field championships underway at the Thomas A. Robinson National Stadium. The C.R. Walker Knights are the defending champions for the senior schools.
We prepared ourselves to go 3 straight this year. You know, we put in a lot of work. Every year we try to build a stronger team every year, so I'm confident. I know the other schools are gunning for us, so I'm prepared. I have Levine Joseph, my 800 distant meter runner. I'm looking for some good things from him. I got some under 17 girls who should shine this year, my sprinters. I won't say we're unbeatable, but I would say this. We prepare ourselves for GWSA and for the season. I'm a type of coach who I don't wait till the time to try to gather up athletes. Every year I try to replenish what is leaving out my graduates, and I try to replenish, and the younger ones that come in, I try to steer them in the same way that I would the older ones. So it's more of a building every year for my teams. Motivating these kids is something else. You just got to show them that you're interested. You got to show them, you know, the opportunity that it presents. You know, it could give them.
Like C.R. Walker, the CH3's Raptors also looking to repeat as junior school champions.
Pretty much confident in doing so. We worked hard, so we're just ready to execute on the track and also on the field. The thing about the track and field, you don't really see it until you come out here. Other than that, you see meets on Saturdays or whatever, but other than that, you won't see the schools per se until you come to the track. In the bantam, you could be looking out for J.O. and Joseph. In the juniors, you could also be looking out for junior girls. You could look out for Nicole Smith and also Cresswell Farndon. They're ready to defend.
Following the government school championships will be the National High School Track and Field Championships next week. The Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture wants to ensure that this meet will encompass the entire Bahamas.
It's continued for 29 years, and we're hoping that this one would be one of the better ones as well, particularly with the support that has been given by the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture, where they're absorbing a great deal of the cost to assist us and assist the athletes in particular in getting here. And so we're again asking the coaches and the administrators and the principals to please ensure that your entries are in with your 20 persons. I mean, you can have more than 20, but obviously those 20 accommodations and ground transportations and meals will be covered by the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture. So we're looking forward to full participation. We started off with some 20 schools. We're hoping we'll have all of the schools throughout the length and breadth of the Commonwealth to participate in these events.
The various high school meets are, of course, a prelude to the Carifta Games, which will be held right here in the Bahamas this year. Golden Girl Pauline Davis-Thompson is a former Carifta athlete. She says what happens outside the track and off the field is just as significant for athletes as they look to obtain peak performance.
It's important that they go to bed on time, stay off their cell phones and things like that. Now, today's athlete is a little bit different from us back in the day. I guess, you know, we would tend to be a little bit more rigid in terms of more robotic in our preparation for a major championship, and so it's very critical that we taper off when it comes to the running part of it. So in other words, the volume, we decrease their volume, and we up the intensity, so they're doing less volume and high intensity work. And as Mr. Sands mentioned earlier, we have to make sure, be very careful in terms of injuries. They have to make sure they get their regular massages, make sure they get what you call like a flush out, make sure they're icing down, and most importantly, make sure they go to bed on time. But Minister, that's why we need a sports academy really bad, because it's very hard as a coach to police all of these things. But if we would have a sports academy, it would be so easy to get that done. Yeah. And I would say this, you know, once we put it on stream, I would say the drug tests are going to be living in the Bahamas for a very long time, because our athletes, meaning that's how talented we are as a country, that they're going to be like, my goodness, let the Bahamas keep producing all these great athletes. And so I'm looking forward to that day, Minister, when we get the Sports Academy going, because we could do some damage to the world.
The National High School Basketball Championships also just around the corner in Grand Bahama. It's all about providing more exposure.
That is something that definitely needs to be looked into, where we bring in, we get this out there, the information out there, so that the junior colleges, the NAIA schools, the Division II and the Division III coaches would know that the tournament is going on. I'm talking about the nationals right now, and let them know the Hugh Campbell perhaps is in a very bad time. A lot of teams are trying to position themselves for their own conference, and then the championship is probably doing conference tournaments starting. But the nationals seem to be in a prime spot for us to be able to attract college coaches to come out and view the talent here in the Bahamas. But the key is to get the information out to them.
And talking about providing more exposure for our youngsters, the Ministry of Education is fully on board.
The soccer championships for Trinidad and Tobago is on Sportsmax. They have given us a request for our basketball championships, in which the score was a 1-point difference. And so we find this is an opportunity to be able to televise our high school activity and then broadcast that high school activity out to the world and indeed the entire Caribbean. And so we look forward to getting basketball on and then being able to work in conjunction with your ministry to ensure the track and field. This meet that we are talking about now is seen by the rest of our Caribbean brothers and sisters in Jamaica, Trinidad and Tobago, and the various countries throughout the Caribbean. And so one of the things the Ministry of Education is keenly looking at is broadcast value, rights, etc. Those things, and these entities are now calling us because of the value of the sport.
Pro basketball player Waltia Roll is home. She spoke with our Kelsey Johnson about what lies ahead.
This upcoming season I have a few offers. I have to sit and think what I want to do.
Any hopes of returning into the WNBA?
Eventually. You know, I'm still trying to work my way back in slowly, you know, after having my daughter and stuff, so I'm trying to work my way back into it.
How has the adjustment been?
It was difficult in the beginning, but, you know, it's gotten a lot better. Playing last season, it went a lot smoother. It's getting better, so probably by maybe next season, or I'm trying actually this season to get back, but we'll see.
Would you say you're 100%?
Or about 80.
What would it take for you to make sure to get to 100?
Just got to keep pushing myself. Whenever I get on the court, just keep pushing.
Female basketball in the country continues to struggle, but president of the New Providence Women's Basketball Association, Minez Cargill-Sherman, is doing all she can to keep it alive.
2 years ago when FIBA came here to visit the Bahamas, and I had that opportunity to meet with FIBA as the women's representative for basketball. And in that meeting, they spoke to me and they advised me on a lot of the administrative work that should be done by the Federation. At that time, it didn't seem feasible to me, but I realized as time goes, you know, the things that they said and the things that should be done by the BBF that is not being done by the BBF. One of the main reasons that they gave me for coming to the Bahamas, as a matter of fact, was simply because there are so many players. We have so many talented players that they see all around this world in pockets. Yet the Bahamas has failed to reach outside the Caribbean. We failed to even make the pre-qualifiers for any real big tournament. So that was one of the reasons that FIBA was here 2 years ago, just to see how we ran our programs, to see what it was exactly that we put into basketball. And like I said, some of the things that they said to me, I see them materializing as time goes on.
The Long Island Regatta may not come until June, but come next month in Montague Bay, a fundraising mini regatta will take place. Last year's event provided a twist where skippers switched sloops, and this made the competition even more exciting.
Everything is coming together real good. You know, I was talking to the guys in Nassau. They putting everything together now. They pretty much winding down to the final prep now, and right now they're looking at possibly the biggest fleet ever. I think possibly anywhere from 12 to 15 C-class boats participating. So all these guys got all this big talk, who's the fastest boat, who's the best skipper and all that. So that almost like gives you a chance to prove yourself, you know, who's the fastest boat or who's the best skipper. And last year, it's sure that pretty much the VDK right now seemed to be the fastest boat, because it seemed like no matter who go on the VDK, they're either first or second.
And that will do it for sports. Stay tuned. The Bahamas Tonight comes back after the break.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by 4th Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Battery and tire specialists want to improve your ride with their new wheel alignment services. Rough roads can make the steering wheel shimmy, your car drift sideways, and even make you skid in wet weather. Professional wheel alignment extends the life of your tires, prevents expensive repairs, and saves you money on gas. Battery and Tire, 7 Terrace Centerville, 325-0547. Battery and Tire Specialist. We keep you moving.
Clean clothes for the family, uniforms for the baby, suit for mommy and daddy. We want you to clean the super. If you wanna look fly and you wanna look clean, if you wanna look fresh, better than all the rest. Bring all your church clothes and all your work clothes. Bring all your children clothes. Super wash.
Life happens, and when it does, FG Insurance Agents and Brokers is here. We help you protect the assets you've worked hard to attain. We offer home, auto, marine, commercial, and liability insurance. Don't hesitate to protect what matters with FG Insurance Agents and Brokers. Visit us and speak to your agent today, or call us at 396-1490 in Nassau or 688-1500 in Freeport.
Time now for weather.
In our final look at weather, taking a look at our satellite picture, we do have this stalled pre-front trough right across Eleuthera, extending into the capital and over Andros. Not very well organized, has some scattered clouds associated with it, and as a result, it will trigger 1 or 2 breeze showers during the course of tonight. Down in the southeast Bahamas, we have near clear skies as high pressure remain in control of our weather, and those winds are falling off quite nicely to light and variable status. So that means for boating, it's going to be pretty nice over the next couple of days. But there is a frontal boundary. It's approaching the southern United States. Again, not much cloud and precipitation associated with this system, but it will continue to sink towards the south and east over the next couple of days. We expect it to get into the northwest Bahamas on Friday morning, and by Friday afternoon, it should push through the capital. That will usher in a cool stream of air over the weekend. We will see temperatures dropping in the mid-70s during the daytime in the northwest Bahamas. In the extreme northwest around Grand Bahama and Abaco, you will see temperatures in the mid-70s during the daytime. Nighttime temperatures falling in the upper 50s around Grand Bahama and again Abaco. For us here in the capital, our low temperatures, they will be somewhere in the low to mid 60s. Tonight, forecast calls for just a few clouds. It's going to remain pretty nice and mild with your low temperature getting down to 70 degrees. And if we can get some of these clouds out of the way tonight, we can drop that low temperature by about 2 degrees, which means your low temperature could possibly get down to 68 degrees. Tomorrow, it's going to be another pretty nice day, partly sunny and warm. The high temperature getting up to 85 degrees ahead of that frontal system, but that cool down is expected for you, as you will see right now when we go to our 7-day forecast. Temperature starting to drop as of Friday night, getting back into the 60s, low 60s during the weekend, right into the early part of next week. An abundance of sunshine during the daytime, and those night times you're going to have near clear skies, and the winds are not going to be too bad. But looking at some swell models early this afternoon, it seems as though even though the winds are going to be pretty light during the weekend and the early part of next week, we're going to have some very serious swells that could impact the northern and eastern shores of most of our islands. So perhaps in another day or two we might post something to that effect.
I know, Basil, it's been a bit windy this month. Is that a bit normal this time of the year?
It's normal after frontal passages to have those strong winds picking up out of the northwest, but we have been having some persistent strong winds over the last week or so, which you say is not really normal, but strong winds at this time of the year is normal, if we can put it that way.
And just before we go, Basil and Jonathan, we'd like to send out a very special happy birthday to our VTR editor, Debbie Sears-Rolls, celebrating her birthday today. Happy birthday, Debbie. And immediately following this newscast is the Read Factor. And with that, we end the Bahamas Tonight, the national report for all of us here at ZNS. I'm LaDawn Davis. Make it a great evening, everyone.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
The Bahamas has many environmental treasures, but research and conservation are critical. So we're going to tell you a little bit more about that and share the experiences of some young people in this edition of the Read Factor.